Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zehra Naqvi, and I'm the Senior Research Associate at South Asia Research Institute for Minority. It is my honor to welcome you all for today's webinar, Cross-Border Solidarity, Strengthening Network Between Minority Communities in Pakistan and Bangladesh. At SARIM, we are dedicated to advocate and empowering minority communities across the South Asia region. This region, minority often experience marginalization, discrimination, and violence. Building cross-borders network is crucial to fostering solidarity and collective advocacy. Today, we will discuss the challenges faced by minority communities in Pakistan and Bangladesh and explore how regional cooperation enhance their rights and well-being. We are privileged to have with us two remarkable speakers who have dedicated their lives to advocate minority rights and social justice. Mr. Shipon Rabidas and Ms. Musfika Laiju. I hope you both are doing well. I would like to start inviting our first speaker, Musfika Laiju. She's a gender and diverse researcher, feminist activist, and human rights activist. He served as the executive director at Women's Windows and also the founder and president of Feminist Network in Bangladesh. She has been at the forefront for advocating for the gender justice, minority right, intersection feminist in Bangladesh. We are delighted to have her today with us. So over to you. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you so much. I convey my thanks to you and who are in presence in this webinar to giving me the opportunity, because it's very fewer we can contact and communicate with Pakistan and Bangladesh. You do know this is a ballot results, but I'm a human rights activist, so I am a human activist. I work for women. So this issue actually I'm delighted to can talk with you in here, and I draw my loves and respect to you and your Sarma organization. Actually, in this 2025, although we are in the always cross as at the border, but we feel we dream a society or a world is without border. This is a dream, but I feel always, because in this 2005 to 25 in this century actually should not be boundary or should not be obstacle any people in the whole world. So minority really in Bangladesh, actually, everywhere in Asia, and even though Africa, even I visited some European country, I see minorities really minority. Minority have no gods, no leader, no citizens' right. Actually, minorities people, they have no any country. They are minority. All minority actually we look on community. It doesn't matter. It does not mean anything. Who is working or who is living, whose country. All minority is look like the same in whole world. So Bangladesh minority community is I don't know about your country community, but really they are suffering a lot of things. And firstly, there's who is actually I work with them. They're suffering a lot of in country they are not very careful regarding their minority rights or minority living or minority well-being. So this actually I feel there should be a collaboration without border, and actually they need to enhance each other and knowledge sharing, and most of the thing I feel they need to be coordination and collaboration, and they actually lack of leadership in minority. If it's logical, they have education, or they have financial stability, or they have job. If they have not, but I feel in Bangladesh they are suffering lack of leadership. This is very true. If minority, they have to enhance or being the leadership in all their community, not even in outer communities. I am a human rights activist. I can talk. I can explore. I can advocate or regarding their minority, but I think I talk only my escape in my work with the Bangladeshi minority. So they need to leadership. They need to build leadership from their own self. If they are not taught their own self, they cannot actually fight or own in the other community or other civil community. I hate this civil. All people are civil actually, but I for the reason I talk about the civil society. So this also in Bangladesh, this long history minority is there, but in as a country, maybe your country also as a country, they are not more human views of them. Still, they are living in very low living standard. And in Bangladesh, we have an untouchable thing very badly, untouchable ground. They are not actually entered the only civil society, or they are not working. They are not buying something the civil shop. They are not even. They are not enter the hotel, enter the restaurant, and civil society. They are not, because the untouchable issue is very big in this country. And gender, what I say, in gender discrimination, it's bigger. Normally, as in Bangladesh, and we are a semi-Muslim country, I'm sorry to say, but in gender discrimination, big thing in there, and minority is living in the under the line of gender discrimination, even though they are not overcoming the gender discrimination, because society is rolling out as a pathetic role. So we are even minority. We are even minority in Bangladesh as a women, but in minority Dalit or minority society, they are actually living under the line causes. The civil society, the policymaker, the ruling government are not very careful, are not very sympathetic, empathetic, not very humanitic, and although as well as from the minority community, people are not raise their voice. They raise their voice, but not stronger than like other communities working there. So this is a very big sufferings, and for this reason, actually need to be knowledge sharing, need to be very good coordination on the whole Asia, this Pakistan, Nepal, or somewhere, and need to be even educated themselves. How to they advocate, or how to they lead their community and to advocate to the government. So this is very big lack, and of course education lack. Of course, there is no awareness, and they are always suffering the injustice in the civil society, because laws and rules, and they are not help them, and they are not help even their own self. It's my personal experience. If someone or some people are starting fighting for their own community and starting to advocacy, and if they first can believe we are a human, then they can advocate there's a human with the country, or who is ruling in the country, or political. And Bangladesh is in represent from Dalit community or from minority community, very few in political places. They are only sometimes used by the country, by the what can I say, government, as a physically presence, as a make a big missile, or missile, I don't know what is the big slogan or big gatherings. That they are people as a physically, but they are not actually contribute to raise their voice, or earn their laws facility, or their freedom of their human. Yes, they are facing to lack of leadership first, lack of awareness, lack of actually believe themselves they are a human, and another thing, actually they are I don't know, they are idle also, and they are actually dreamless people, a community. They have no dream actually, because long day they are all surprised or deprived, so they forget it. They are human beings. They are a big community, but they are a valuable community in country or in the world, but they doesn't know. So awareness is a big issue, and lack of knowledge, lack of coordination, and lack of unity, even though. And of course, leadership is very, I feel there's a very badly lack of leadership, and they actually they feel they have no country. This country is not them. This geography and the map is not there. So they are always feeling in shaking, and they feel they're only living for living, not living for a life, not living as a human, just living only living. So this issue actually bigger, and it's really terrible. And from outside, if I lead them, but it's difficult to enter there in the thinking level. Thought process is very slow. I'm honestly speaking, and when, yes, because when sometime I think on thing in Bangladesh is Gaibanda is a Bonarpara community, two communities living in on rail line is there, and two sides the two communities living there. It's very big issue is there, untouchable issue. People or the whole community, they are not access to civil community, even any program, any get togethering, any occasion, even when they are prayer. Most of the Dalit community in that place is Hindus, but in that prayer time in Durga Puja or something, they have to organize different way their puja or their ritual thing. They are not including, they are not permission entering the other people ritual thing or puja or something. It's very terrible. I mean, it's ongoing. It's 30 years is ongoing, and they have no only one leader I know. They are a man, and only he can. Yes, this is not right. We are a human. We are the part of the society. We are the part of the country. We have all our useful to this country, and we have our own what can I say, contribution in the country, but they did not want to voice the race. And another thing, in most of the people, in the Dalit people, even on another minority, they are actually take a drink when they are feeling depressed. They cannot overcome from there, but they drink, and the alcohol is not actually very high quality alcohol. They want to drink, and then they want to forget their deprivedness, forget their untouchable thing. They just feeling drowsy. So this is on another issue. In alcohol is the bigger issue for their human, and for their even health, public health, even though their mental health. Even they cannot think, even though they are human, and they are the honorable citizen in Bangladesh. So this also biggest problem, lot of problem, but just significantly briefly I talk this also big problem for Dalit community in Bangladesh. I don't know in Pakistan, but in Bangladesh, yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your expertise and experience with us today. Your insight has been invaluable in highlighting challenges faced by the minority community. We appreciate your presence. Moving ahead to the next speaker, our next speaker is Shipon Rabidas, General Secretary of the Bangladesh and Excluded Rights Movement. He have been a strong advocate for Dalit rights in Bangladesh, working to end the caste-based discrimination and support marginalized communities. Thank you so much for joining us today. Over to you.
So thank you for inviting me as a speaker. And my name is Shipon Kumar Rabidas. I am the General Secretary of Bangladesh Dalit and Excluded Rights Movement, BDERM. BDERM is the national platform of Bangladeshi Dalit communities. 6.5 million Dalit lives in our country, according to the data of Social Welfare Ministry of Bangladesh. But we think that this number may be 7.5 or more than 7.5 million. Okay. So in our country, Dalit movement or Dalit concept is not much familiar. Our country have a conception about Dalit movement. So our government has a list of indigenous communities. Firstly, 2010, Bangladeshi government passed a gazette on indigenous communities. Although government don't say indigenous communities or Adivasi or Janojati in Bangladesh, they say it Khudro Nigosti, that means ethnic minorities. So firstly, they enlisted 27 ethnic minority communities in this list. After that, not recently, 2021, they revised the list of ethnic minorities, and now the list is of 50. 50 ethnic minorities group lives in our country by the government's data. Okay. But we always request to our government, social welfare ministry, and related authorities to enlist us that more and more Dalit communities lives in Bangladesh. So Bangladeshi government has to recognize them, has to enlist them. But we didn't get that. And in our country, our major problem is that dignity issue. Most of the areas in Bangladesh, basically North Bengal areas, I mentioned some district named Lalmonirhat, Kurigram, Gaibandha, Dinaspur also. Our community is basically manual scavenger, cobbler community. They have no rights to enter into the restaurant, mainstream restaurant,
I told
saloon,
them.
also, saloon also, and some upper caste Hindus temple also. So that is the point. So we in 2014, along with Manusher Janno Foundation, BLAST, and also Human Rights Commission of Bangladesh, we drafted the Act, Anti-Discrimination Act, and Law Commission with Human Rights Commission, they reviewed on the Act, and finally, 2023, this Act submitted in the National Parliament, but not passed yet. So we hope if this act was passed, act will passed, then our community's human rights and their dignity will be ensured in some portion, not fully. And in Bangladesh, what is the condition of the Dalit communities? They are totally poor. They are not totally educated. Their household situation is not good at all. And although from our community, if some boys or girls will be educated, but the mainstream people have no the mindset of, they are not willing to accept them as human beings. Example is good, okay, no problem. But most of the situation, our children, our students, they finished their education, but they have no job. They are totally unemployed. And most of the time during interview board, job interview board, if the interviewer see the CV resume that their location or their permanent or present address in a Dalit colony, Horijan colony, Sweeper colony, Rabidas colony, then their perception is not good.
Again, the internet is interrupted, and she wants to say actually when the administration or people that see that CB, they are come from the Rabidas community or Jolodash or whatever. Actually, they are not accepting their presence, or they're not give the any value their education. They actually their count where they come from. So this is actually a practical thing, and this is not the 1 to 3 years ago. It's still 100 and 1,000 years ago. Their mindset, civil society mindset there. And before I told you, the Lalmonirhat Kurigram Gaiband, I also work with them. It's very terrible. People, they are not enter any civil shops, any even ki hair cutting shop, even ki pimple. He also describe you. So this is the reality. But what's the point? How we can overcome them? So I just want to hear from him what is their plan, because he's a leader. What his plan to overcoming is this situation, for because human is human. Human is not you can count or you can measure what they work or what they come from. So what they born in them. So this is the actual reality. It will be better if I can share someone from your country or some other country, then we can compare. But this is the reality. Is Robida is there? Please again. I just make up the time.
Okay, so if we see the condition of our women and girls in our society, Dalit community have a social structure, panchayat community. So our panchayat, our chaudhuri, our mahant, pradhan, sariyadar, they don't allow our women leadership. Yeah, that is the negative point for our society. So we are trying our best, basically young youth group, student group, to change our society, because women and men, they have the same rights. Same rights. Yeah. So nowadays, from our society, from our community, some human rights defenders already created. We have a group of DHRD, Dalit Human Rights Defenders. We are working for our community, ensure our human rights. Most of the time, we respond quickly if human rights violations occurred in any place, like rape, land grabbing, torture, murder, that type of work. So we are trying our best, but we have no money power, we have no political power. We are weak in this point. So we always request to our government that we have a representation in every steps of government. We spent 4.5 months in Nepal last year as a NOREC participant here. So we got this opportunity. So we visited Sidaha and Saptari district of Madhya Pradesh, Tarai area of Nepal. So we noticed that Nepal government offered 1% quota in border area. Per ward, one Dalit women can be elected as a member. That is the point. And if we see the situation of Pakistani Dalit, we can see Pakistan have a ministry on Dalit. Am I right or wrong? I think they have ministry on Dalit. But in Bangladesh, we have no any commission, no any cell, no any ministry. Nepal also have in Nepali constitution, Dalit affairs already included strongly, and also in India, ST, SC, OBC, that means scheduled tribe and others backward communities. But in Bangladesh, we are out of list. We are out of documents. So that is the position of Bangladeshi Dalit. So we hope, we are very optimistic that one day we will be successful in our movement. We always red salute to Baba Sahib Dr. Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar, and we hope one day we will overcome our problems, and we will be establish our rights, ensure our human rights, and also our leadership. Thank you.
We are with you. Thank you so much for sharing the valuable insights and taking the time to join, especially while being in Nepal for your work. We appreciate your presence and thank you for this team speakers, Shipon, Rabidas, and Miss Musfika ji. Thank you for sharing the valuable contribution. Your work is being an inspiration, and we are grateful for the opportunity to learn from you today. Thank you for joining us today. See you again in the future events also. Until next time, take care. Stay safe.
Thank you. Take care. We shall overcome one day, someday, very
Yes,
sooner.
yes.
Thank you so much, and keep in touch if needed any assistance.
Sorry.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so much.
Shipanda.
Thank you, দিদি, thank you. ভালো
হ্যাঁ,
থাকবেন।
দেখা হবে, ফিরে আসুন।
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Take care.